All right, we're live.
I thought I was gonna do the little
Why you
thing.
look like Regina Hall when you did that?
Like you're going to do the little countdown thing.
Right. Yeah, I thought that's what I was gonna do.
Oh, no, we're gonna do that when we actually start the actual show.
For the show, yeah.
All right, Facebook, YouTube, what up? Episode 100.
What happened? Happy Labor Day to everyone.
Happy Labor Day, everybody.
I'm pretty sure. I think about this earlier today. When there's a holiday that falls on a Monday, do black people we just like celebrate that on like Friday and Saturday and just don't do anything on Monday? Because that's what my family does. We like never celebrate on the actual holiday.
That's what we do.
Because I was running around, I ain't seen no grills out, I ain't seen no little yard signs. Everybody did all their stuff on Saturday.
Now you do that on the weekend.
Right.
Monday supposed to be rest day before we get prepared to go back to work Tuesday.
Right. That's exactly how black people think. It's exactly how black people think. We use that day for rest.
Right.
Yeah, look at that 4 days.
Because what DL usually say on Kings of Comedy, he said when black people go on break, that's exactly what the hell we do. We go on break. Shoot. I need to go watch that. That's a classic. That's a classic.
Yeah.
All right, Sheedy.
Yeah, so this week, and please be aware, I'll be writing an article for us to have for Let's Be Real that will focus on injustices throughout America and be able to have links so you guys can actually like tap into what we're saying and follow along with those stories. So be on the lookout for that. But in the interim time, when you think about how we got to 2020, you have to think about the black inventions, like the stoplight, the mailbox, huge things like that. But to you guys, for Let's Be Real, what are one of the top inventions, top 5 inventions of all time for you all?
We talked about this last week, right?
Does it have to be from somebody that was black? Does it have to be
black
owned?
No, I just want to open up with that. No.
Gotcha. Okay.
Shit, I saw for one internet.
Oh, the internet.
The internet. Like without the internet, we wouldn't be able to do this. Shout out to the internet.
Yeah.
For sure.
True. It's very true.
Gotta throw condoms on the list.
Got it.
That's a strong.
No comment. I almost said something.
Throw condoms on the list, right?
The internet, condom.
I'm a married man. I don't know what a condom
is. My man said a stove.
A stove.
Stove. Okay. No, because you can cook something outside.
Say that again.
Let me see what it is.
What's
up, man?
Let me see. So we got condoms.
What about a wheel?
Internet.
Yeah. The wheel.
A car.
With like 7
cars.
Cell phone.
A hot cone.
Yeah, cell phone.
Maybe.
Hot cone.
Cell phones.
A hot cone. God damn.
Hot cone.
Yeah.
Not that none of us are using hot cones.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
For the queens out there. Come on.
Hey, do-rags.
Okay.
There you go.
That's not a phone. Yeah. Phones. So we need like a list of.
Yeah.
Do-rag / bonnet.
Oh, to the phone.
We already did the phone.
The phone is definitely top 5.
I guess the actual like electric heater or space heater, I think that's what it's called. The one that you have to plug in and it just automatically heats.
We just bought an oscillating fan
Glasses. That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right. The oscillating fan has been keeping our bedroom cool for like the past days. That jump is busted.
Yeah.
I got to get one of these with an air fryer.
Together as one? Can we group sports all together just as a great invention?
Okay. So I thought about that.
Sports. Sure. Okay. Y'all got air fryers?
Air fryers.
Mama got
undefeated, guys. Air conditioning.
Yeah.
Right. You can't be running all day. You got Memphis Night Gas and Robbery ready for you. You can't be
that got her air conditioning unit stolen from the side of the house.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing was stolen. The whole
Right.
That sounds like some black
Did
stuff.
they have a pickup truck? They had to have a truck or something to just put it on and just roll out.
Yeah.
You can't put that in the car and keep rolling.
The air wasn't working. And went out.
See, that's sad when you gotta lock stuff down like that.
Yeah.
When you gotta lock stuff down like that, that's pretty sad.
Yeah.
You gotta lock down your AC, bro. That's
Man, you remember a couple years ago, somebody took like a That comes on the pad.
You gotta put a chain on it.
Yeah.
I don't think a chain will work.
No, chain
I
gonna
put a
work.
whole thing on it.
Yeah.
Right, if you gonna hear it, worst case, you gonna hear it.
You need one of them heavy duty locks from like Home Depot or Lowe's. Ooh, amen.
Soap and toothpaste.
Amen to that.
Deodorant.
Soap and toothpaste. I don't even think people realize that that's been invented yet. But I don't think people realize that those two have been invented.
That is
We
true.
might need to get some
Might want me to bring
some people on that one.
Speaking of essentials, y'all remember back at the beginning of the pandemic when all them people bought tissues and paper towels and stuff? Y'all think they still got them? Because they bought a lot of them.
Yeah.
It's just sitting around the house.
Mhm.
I got
In the closet.
yeah.
Regular.
We're gonna need them eventually.
Right. In the pantry.
I got a big thing of paper towels and a big pack of tissue sitting right behind me that we got.
Yeah. Tissue paper.
And we bought that like months ago. So
Man, y'all are funny.
yeah, man. More
That's
great
what,
invention.
I can think about for inventions. Well, that y'all can think of, I should say, for inventions.
Yeah.
But let's also talk and discuss about McDonald's. What's one thing you wish McDonald's had?
Not going in business.
Working milkshake machine.
A working ice cream machine. That's no
A working milkshake machine.
Yeah.
That just don't never work. You go out of town and ask for a milkshake, and they actually give you one. You be like, "What? It actually works?" Like you be so surprised.
Workers who
Only
don't
in
cuss you
Memphis.
out for
Only in
asking
Memphis. None of them work.
I don't think I've ever had a milkshake from
I don't
McDonald's.
think I've been to a McDonald's where one actually worked.
Right. I don't remember the last time I got
Like
one.
ever.
McDonald's definitely they need the handbook that Chick-fil-A use, bro, because getting cussed out for asking for a couple more packages of ketchup ain't it, bro. Like I barely eat McDonald's anyway because of the customer service, but the food trash too.
That's some good fries though. Fries.
They fries be busting.
Only when they hot.
Cheers, y'all. Been a minute.
Is it better than Dodgers?
McDonald's in 6 years, bro.
Don't you disrespect Dodgers like this? It's too early, bro. You better not disrespect.
What you say about Dodgers?
What you say about Dodgers, bro?
I said, is it better than Dodgers? I didn't know.
No, Dodgers are better.
Is McDonald's better than Dodgers? Is that what you're asking?
Fella. Get you a
Shitty
steak
with it, bro.
He muted me.
Come on, you was progressing along and learning how to be a Memphian now. Come on, see, I need you to bring it back in.
No, your progression bar declining, bro. You need to go up.
That's all I asked. I threw it out there.
Yeah, you was getting to the point where you was about to start getting badges, but now
It fell off.
He was like, you got to play the extra game.
yeah.
It was right at the tip, but you still got to play an extra one. You got to waste all that time. Man, I be hating 2K, bro. Savage, I might be back on 20 with you, bro. This 21 ain't talking about nothing.
I told you, bro. I'm not touching it. I played the day. I played
Nothing.
Look, I'm waiting the next gen for 21, and we supposed to know.
I'm messing with that, bro.
Supposed to know the price of the PS5 Tuesday. I guess when they do their event or whatever. So, what do
you think the max is going to be for the PS5?
As far as cost,
$750.
Mm-hmm.
Max 750 at the least 500 again.
Golly, I ain't bought a game system in so long. That's how much they running for these days? 750?
No, they running five like PS4.
They
Like
running
At least five. At least five.
At least five. Yeah.
And that's
you talking
one
next gen
controller.
too, bro, in 2020? Talking next year.
That's
When was the
why
last time the
always get
Xbox came
mine.
out?
That's why I always get mine around Black Friday if I was getting another system because you get that, maybe a game or two, controller, all that for $5. But buying it straight up on any other day, $500 off top at least.
I got kids to feed.
I wish I had it.
50.
Right. I wish I had it.
Damn. It don't even come with
that's how much it take to get my ceiling fixed at the house. $750. I'm trying to get my ceiling fixed at the house.
Oh, we ain't gonna kill the McDonald's conversation without talking about the Sprite.
Oh, it's tier one.
They killed the conversation in the Sprite itself. This Sprite's disgusting.
Right. They need to bring the Sprite back and the high C.
Yeah. Oh, the
Sprite and the high C.
High C orange. Yes, they need to bring that stuff back.
They did kill the high C orange. Yeah.
Yeah.
They add a little crack to it.
Their John was undefeated.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for that fries, man. I'm gonna go for that fries. Savage, what's wrong, man? You be muted.
He ready to, you know what he ready to talk about.
Oh no, my bad. I'm a
He's mad at us. He's mad at us.
He's mad at us right now, bro. You can't be mad at us on 100, bro. We done made it 100 episodes.
Oh no,
matter
of fact, let me get this right now. Hold on. Since y'all I see my name today, right? Status. I'm back to status now. So let me get back to the stats this week with these coaches because again, I saw
we got time
over Douglas Peterson. I am appalled. One man has won Super Bowl, the other man
is not win.
Oh, we almost about to get to that list immediately.
Pro Bowlers.
Hey, I'm about to turn the reality out, bro.
He about to
We're muted and a minus 2.
I know, right?
Hey, bro, give me a thing. Put it down right here behind me. Kyle Shanahan's better than Doug Peterson. Mike Tomlin, who y'all be hating on, Mike Tomlin is better than Doug Peterson.
Are you saying or asking?
Twins, as CD would say. Explain to me. Explain to me. Y'all, it's pregame. I'm ready. I'm just ready for the segment. I just want to hear.
Oh, I love it. I love it this morning. I love it.
So much smoke. It ain't even 12 o'clock yet. Damn.
All right, let's get started.
Let's get it.
Let's be real. Number 100.
100.
100.
Let's keep it 100.
We made it. We made it.
100 episodes, bro.
2 years. 2 and a little over 2 years. Well, fellas, made it to 100.
Yeah.
What y'all?
That deserves a round of applause, bro. You got to add a round of applause on this one.
I saw you like a little.
You made it. That's 100 episodes, man.
Yes.
You can see right there, man.
It shows our love for all of us because we ain't got rid of nobody yet. So I guess that's a good thing.
And I'm
Facebook user.
Y'all still here. Now you're right. We didn't kick each other out of the group before.
We ain't done it. Right here. Hold on, right here. I gotta get it right. I can't even get it right. The person to the left of me. I can't.
But he can't
He doing how to kick it right.
Yeah.
Let me see. There you go. There you go. Yeah, this guy.
I don't do how to kick it out. Savage started that. Man. All right, bro. Topics of today. I'm gonna talk about the NBA second round playoffs. After that, we go to the NFL season starts this week. Divisional storylines. We'll do our last ReaLIST for the NFL season with the top 5 inside linebackers and top 5 head coaches, as y'all Savage was alluding to in the pregame. And we'll finish with the L of the month for the month of August. So, first up, NBA, Trevor.
All right, so we are in full swing with the NBA playoffs. We're now in the middle of the conference semifinals. Just last night, the Lakers even up the series at 1-1 in their series against the Rockets in convincing fashion, I might add. The Bucks finally get a win on the board. I wouldn't say even in their series, they're now down 3-1. Losing Giannis in the process by re-aggravating his ankle injury, which he was already questioned before going into Game 4. And then, let's see, the Clippers just a couple of days ago just even up their series. Well, the Nuggets, excuse me, just a couple of days ago just even up the series 1-1 against the Clippers. And after still in the first two games, Boston now finds themselves deadlocked with the defending champions at 2-2. So for you guys, I just want to see what are your predictions going forward for the series? What's impressed you so far? What's disappointing? You know, the whole nine with that. So the floor is yours. Whoever wants to take it.
I want to hear from Miami Heat fans. I missed the podcast earlier this week, so I want to hear from Heat fans first. She'd been talking cash for the past week, so I like to hear him. Well, actually, I know what he's been saying, but I want to see if he's about that life to talk about it on live broadcast.
You know I am. First of all, that was a charge to Goran Dragic at the end of the game for the Bucks, and we could have got the ball back and been up a point, and I think we win the series. It's over, regardless of the fact we're gonna win the series. I could care less when Giannis comes back. We proved we can beat this team with Giannis, and we're gonna prove we can beat them without Giannis. And don't let the Raptors win their series, because I can tell you this right now: the Heat will be in the finals. We will cruise past the Raptors. The Celtics are the only team that will give us a problem, and we can go to 7 with them, and I still think we can make it to the finals.
Oh, okay.
Excuse us.
All right.
Jeez.
Okay, so I'm not going to disrespect the Raptors like that to say cruise past them, but
Thank you.
I wait for
Yes,
that.
sir.
Over the 2 second round series actually end. As for me, I was turned up Friday. I don't know if y'all saw my tweets. I was ready to release screenshots and everything about Jimmy Butler being overrated, but yeah, I was turned. Sunday kind of put it back down. I mean, it was still a close loss even with Giannis out, but I'm a proponent of going ahead and ending the series, not prolonging it, because that's how injuries happen. Jay Crowder very well could twist his ankle later in the game. He did actually got a little nicked up, but we'll see. But we need to finish in 5. If we don't finish in 5 and Giannis comes back, then I'm not gonna say Milwaukee's going to come back, but
It's the bubble, man.
yeah,
Anything can happen in the bubble.
we better finish it tomorrow. That's all I got to say on that one. I believe we will, but we need to go ahead and do it. If we don't, yeah, it can get interesting.
Things can get real interesting. Yeah,
we'll finish it tomorrow.
If the Bucks beat y'all again without Giannis, all that cruise and stuff. Because I actually had y'all winning the gentleman's sweep, so I'm happy the Bucks won, but y'all got to finish this, bro.
Do you really expect for me? It's gonna have to go for 40 for them to even have a chance tomorrow. And Skylar's face just
40 what minutes? 40 minutes? 40 minutes. Okay.
40 points. And he was like, he had what 36 yesterday. He already shot 11-26.
Trust me, that ain't happening again.
Thank you.
I believe we're good, but we better finish this.
This series is done. I think even with all of that, Miami still had the opportunity to win it. I think Jimmy Butler knows they still had the opportunity to win it. He knows how important this game is going to be tomorrow. So I'm looking for the Heat to close this out, regardless if Giannis is playing tomorrow or not. It's a wrap.
I doubt he's playing. He not. If he come back, it'd be. If we have to win, it'll have to be Game 6. I doubt he come back tomorrow. I had sprained ankle before.
Oh yeah,
I ain't coming back.
It's
the next day.
Not a good. Yeah, it's not that great.
Speaking of gentlemen, can we talk about this gentleman last night? The Los Angeles Lakers. Because I mean, y'all know how I feel about the Lakers. I'm not worried about game one. Like
Tell Skyler that. Tell Skyler that.
I tweeted it a couple of days ago. I said the Lakers are like boxers. They're like Floyd Mayweather. First round, like the first game, it's like, we're gonna see how it goes, see what they come out with. Like just like the Blazers, they came out with their best shot, the haymaker, and the Lakers, they have a nice chin. You know what I'm saying? So as we saw last night, LeBron can turn it on when he wants to. AD can turn it on when he wants to. And Skyler's boy, Mr. Playoff Rondo, was how much?
Don't do that.
He played good for us.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Great.
Rondo played well last night. Like,
best on the team, 10, 9, 5, and 3. Rondo is frustrating. I will admit that, but he has an impact on the court that you just cannot see. I think it's more cerebral than anything else. But the Lakers, I'm not worried about them. And I will say this, and I said it before, I'm going to say it again. Like the Blazers and the Rockets, that's not an ideal matchup for the Lakers, a team that don't shoot threes like that. We get the Clippers, it's going to be much easier, much more smooth. It'll be 6 games against the Clippers, but it'll be so much smoother because they ain't got people that's sniping threes, 50 attempts. So, again, the Lakers are gentlemen. I suspect them to finish off the Rockets in the next 3 games. Y'all saw Westbrook. That's all I'm going to say. Go ahead, Skyler.
I am still worried about my Lakers. It's the simple fact that Anthony Davis picks and chooses when he wants to score 30, 35. It bothers me that he just couldn't. He knows that he could just wake up out of the bed and says, "Okay, I'm just going to get 40 today," and he just doesn't do that. I'm not sure why PJ Tucker is bothering him. I'm not sure why his partner is bothering him. I just would like Anthony Davis just to get on the floor and say, "Everybody, move out my way. I'm about to score 40." That bothers me. So if that, and then also what bothers me is Danny Green has been inconsistent, KCP has been inconsistent, and Kyle Kuzma has been inconsistent. And so again, they all had a good game yesterday, but they pick and choose days they want to. They pick and choose what days they want to play. And the further you go along in the series, and then also in the playoffs, because I have them beating the Rockets, you can't continue to get away with it. So maybe they just only looking forward to the Clippers. Maybe they're just like, we'll just do I kind of cakewalk against against the Trailblazers. We'll cakewalk against the Rockets, and then we'll make sure we have our game faces on when we play the Clippers or going into the final. So that's the thing that bothers me. It's just we can't get consistent play outside of LeBron and AD. But again, I fully expect the Rockets to win. I mean, not the Rockets to win. I fully expect the Lakers to win. So that's off the table. I'm gonna move forward. The Miami Heat. I love watching the Miami Heat. It's like Jimmy Butler has continuously said throughout this entire playoff run. Like they have some goons. They have some absolute dogs on the team. And it's just so fun to watch them play. Like Duncan Robinson is good. Tyler Hero is like 15, but he's playing like he's 37. Jimmy Butler is going off. He's cussing everybody out. Bam Adebayo, I think he needs more touches. I really think he needs more touches. And it kind of bothered me toward the end of the game. What was the game 4 that he didn't get more touches, especially because he went off like second, third quarter, and I didn't think he got the ball as much as he needed to in the fourth quarter. So I would like for him to get more touches, but that series is over with. It's just like when you put 30 seconds on the microwave and it starts to beep, it's done. Your food is done. That series is over with. Celtics and Raptors. I'm kind of surprised that the Raptors have kind of come back to tied at 2. I expect the Celtics to finish that series out. Huh?
Champs. How? It's the champs.
Yeah, they're the champs at this point. They're the defending champs.
I expect the Celtics to finish this series out. I'm still surprised that they came back because I guess it was just more so for me how good Boston looked the first 2 games, and I think they kind of let their foot off the gas just a little bit because really that series really should be 3. It really should have been 3-0 before the game the other night. But shout out to OG Anunoby for the 3 at the end. But I fully expect the Celtics to win that series, and the Nuggets and Clippers, it doesn't interest.
It don't. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure the Clippers are winning. Like,
they'll win.
I'm surprised that the Nuggets won game 2. But hey,
I thought the Clippers similar to the Lakers. They let their foot off the gas in game 2. Both of them waiting for each other.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't say for the Lakers Rockets series. I went from Lakers in 5 to Lakers in 6 after game 1. I think Rockets can get another one, but I think same thing. It just they gonna win.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, letting y'all know.
I go ahead and go. Savage, I think you was spot on with the Lakers, but I think at this point, the Rockets, they're done. You know, so I'm kind of upset that they didn't lose the last round because I could have went ham on them, but I guess I'd save that for next year and another day. But I think if you look at the Rockets, like the Lakers gonna win it easily. I think they're just trying to get to the next round without any injuries. So you may see some inconsistent play, but I think overall y'all will win. The Rockets may win one more, but that's because of like the inconsistent play. Like they Lakers got this for sure.
Yeah.
As far as the Heat go, like I said, y'all gotta win this game. Heat, or it may be a trouble for y'all. Rockets in 7, so he tripping. He tripping.
Really?
He got to be a die-hard Rockets fan for him to say that.
LeBron.
He's talking about the last round. He was giving us last round stats.
Yeah, that's
he got to catch up to today.
Y'all want
he got to catch up to today. Who is that?
Jeremy Goods.
I thought it was Randy. That's what I thought it was.
Don't pull me over. Don't pull me over.
I guess
tell Jeremy Goods he can go out there and play and take PJ Tucker's spot. They about the same height anyway.
Man.
Yeah, I'm about the same height as PJ Tucker.
They about the same height.
PJ Tucker listening, bro.
That's right.
That's what the rebounds.
It is what it is.
But now going forward, at the beginning of the playoffs, like I said, this was a coaching match that I wanted to see as far as like the Celtics and Raptors go. I thought the Celtics was gonna win in 6 games, but you know, top 10 Larry and Van Vliet, they going ham now. They resilient, they ballers, and they being coached by a good coach. So I think this series is honestly just getting started. It can definitely go 7 games.
Yeah.
And y'all say y'all kind of sleep on the Clippers and the Mavericks, not Clippers, man, Clippers and Nuggets. I'm not. The Nuggets. The Nuggets are here, and they got a lot of shooters. And I think at this point we may see a little fatigue in the Nuggets. I think that may be the only thing as far as like the Clippers and the Nuggets that I may be like on the rail about. No, they're both talented teams, and I don't think it's gonna be as an easy match as y'all think it's gonna be with the Clippers.
We didn't say it's gonna be an easy matchup. It's just like unless the Nuggets steal this game here, it's not going past 6. Because I expect the Clippers to win tonight. Clippers win game 4, and then Nuggets win game 4, and then from that, Clippers will put their foot on the gas and close it out.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I was telling Sheedy the other day, like I think the Nuggets are really good, but I think for them to be in the conversation of the Lakers and the Clippers, they need to make a trade. And that trade needs to be for like somebody like I guess like a Bradley Beal, because I think a lot of the teams like the Lakers, like the Clippers, or maybe even the Rockets will say like, it's the Nuggets. Like, we're not just necessarily too worried about them. Like nobody scares me for the Nuggets. And I think they need to make a trade. But like, of course, I would keep Murray and keep Jokic. They have a lot of good young talent that I think that they could flip for like maybe like a Bradley Beal, or maybe like who else could potentially be out there. I don't know who else could be out there, but I think they need like a really good second like wing star to really like have everybody else in the West take them seriously.
So you're probably going to be looking to flip Gary Harris, possibly Will Barton.
You may need to. Yeah.
They just
or maybe even
Michael
Porter Jr. too, because Michael Porter Jr. has more of an upside than probably like Will Barton.
MPG.
I'll just that's another one.
You might have to throw that in there.
Yeah. It's not bad.
That's my 2 cents, gentlemen.
Yeah, for sure. And Westbrook still can.
Hey man, don't get me started on Westbrook, bro. I told y'all about him. I love Russell Westbrook.
I love Russell.
He is not a championship winning point guard. If he is a point guard on your team, you're not gonna win.
I have no sword in this fight, so I have nothing to say.
I mean, it's proven at this point. Like it's 10 years later, and I'm still saying the same thing about it.
I call it where it is. I'll defend him where he can be defended, but at this point, I just can't do it.
So what are we saying about Russell Westbrook? What?
All right, we're going to move on.
Oh,
Next episode.
Next episode, man.
Skyler, NFL.
All righty, gentlemen. The NFL starts on Thursday. I told y'all we was gonna get to this point, and we will get to this. The season will start on Thursday, and we will finish the NFL season in February with the Super Bowl. But as we go into the season, I definitely wanted to, I guess, discuss with y'all and I guess our viewers about different storylines from each division, just like things that we should look forward to, things that will potentially be talked about, like even when the season starts and going on forward. So I've already sent y'all the list of what order we'll go in. So we'll attack the AFC first. So we'll go AFC North, AFC South, AFC West, AFC East, NFC North, NFC South, NFC West, and NFC East. So Sheedy with the AFC North, could you give us a quick start of what storylines that you have coming out of that division?
Yeah. One honorable mention, because I know you said two. One honorable mention I want to have is by the lowest seeded team from last year, the Cincinnati Bengals, which is Joe Burrow. And the reason why I say Joe Burrow is just because of how he's come alive with these comments and backing Black Lives Matter. During this time, it's huge for a rookie to me. I don't see any other rookies really going out on a limb like this. I know he's the number one draft pick. So kudos to the Bengals and what they got for their future, along with the running back that they just got done locking down as well. But I will say that, wow. I will say the two huge storylines for me. One, the best team got better in that division, which is the Ravens. Bolstered some more on their defense. And who knows who they can get at wide receiver on offense. But I think they're pretty well stacked all around. And I think also is the Steelers. You guys are entering now a season where Minka will have an off season. We say he's one of the best safeties in the league, top one, actually rated by us. And also you get your franchise quarterback back, Ben Roethlisberger. So this team now, which is 8-8 last season, I'm looking at them as more like a 10-6 type of season, hopefully, with those type of adjustments over the off season. So I think those are two things to look forward to from the AFC North.
Appreciate you signing on my Steelers. Two, you got the AFC South, my boy.
Yes, sir. Well, ain't too much going on in the AFC South, really.
Stop trolling, bro. You about to
trolling. Come on now. No, but I guess one of the headlines really from yesterday or the day before, the Titans, Sharky's Titans signed that Davion Clowney. He's been calling him for a minute. We're still not sure of the contract deal. Are we? Do you know, Sharky?
It's 12. It's 1 year, 12 mil, and get up to 15 mil based on incentives.
And I think that's a huge factor when you're talking about the Titans. Sheedy, like you said, the Ravens got the best team in their division, got better. With this is definitely the case with the Titans. You know what I'm saying? They definitely were looking like a Super Bowl team last year. All it needs is, consistency is going to be key for them, and make sure their defense continues to be on point, which they always have been, at least for the last, 5, 6, 7 years for sure. And they got one of the best ends. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how far the Titans go. And I guess if I was to pick another headline, I guess we can stick with the money with Deshaun Watson's contract extension with the Texans. That's something that I didn't expect after they traded, his best receiver, away. But, I guess Bill O'Brien got something going on in Texas, and Deshaun Watson want to be a part of it. So salute to the black quarterback, you know what I'm saying? Making this money for sure. I would never hate that. But the Texans going to have to surround him with some kind of talent. Other than that, you're just paying for a quarterback just to be there.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think that's a good point. Bringing up that he just got that contract. I think that was a no-brainer. I know we've been harping on the Houston Texans a lot, but I think that was a no-brainer. You had to have paid Deshaun Watson. If you didn't get him signed, everybody in that entire organization needs to go. It's just that.
Yeah, I agree. For those who want to read about the contract, it's a 4-year, $156 million contract. So
it's a little chump change. That's it. Little chump change. All right, Trevor, take us to the AFC West, my boy.
All right, so off to the AFC West, where the Super Bowl champions reside, and that is the Kansas City Chiefs. So, of course, there definitely is going to be the first headline of this division. Started with, of course, with Patrick Mahomes securing the Brinks truck, the Loomis truck, and the U.S. Department of Treasury truck all at the same time. Kansas City not only locking him up for the next 10 years, but still having enough cap flexibility to keep their team intact And basically, they're looking to run it back. So we'll see this season if it's going to be more of the same for the Chiefs, or is there going to be anything different? And I guess the second headline would be for the AFC West. For the first time in 20 years since the Outlaws in the XFL, we have football back in Vegas once again. So this will be the first season the Raiders, which is their third home actually, will play their first season in Las Vegas. So we'll see how things would kind of translate there. Just to throw the Broncos and the Chargers in, they're both looking to move forward with their new quarterbacks, of course, with Justin Herbert and with the Chargers. Drew Lock, we're about to get a first full season with him and all of his weapons. So, but AFC West in a nutshell, Super Bowl champs, they're looking to repeat and they're looking to run it back.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be one of the toughest divisions in football. Not even just the AFC West, not even just AFC, but the entire league. The AFC West is, I think, it's a gauntlet. You got the Chiefs, you got the Broncos, you got the Raiders. It's a gauntlet. So as far as like, I'm not necessarily sure if the Chiefs can get 12, 13 wins, because I think that division is so loaded. But we shall see. We shall see. So looking at it, sorry. Look at this, sorry.
My man brought up a gauntlet with the Raiders.
All right, that is the AFC East.
Yes, sir. So the AFC East is taking on a completely new look from top to bottom. The GOAT is no longer in New England anymore. We know that he went down to Tampa Bay to try to see if he can get him a chip with the Buccaneers. So my first storyline is like, who is going to rise to the top, and will it be New England? Like, will they say consistent, or will it be the Buffalo Bills? They just got Stephon Diggs for Josh Allen. I doubt it'd be the New York Jets with Sam Darnold and whoever they have left remaining there, Le'Veon Bell. And then you got Miami, who showed some flashes last year with Tua, not last year, but with Fitzpatrick last year. But now they have Tua. Of course, they just announced that Fitzpatrick will be starting quarterback, but I think it's a matter of time before Tua gets in there and is the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. But I'm just curious to know what team will rise to the top. Like I said, will it be New England, or can we see Buffalo, Miami? I doubt the Jets rise to the top of that division. And then my second storyline is more so focused on New England with Cam Newton. And so my question would be, like, what is next for Cam Newton after this year? You're given the GOAT coach in Belichick, and then also a pretty good offense coordinator in McDaniel. So I'm curious to see how will the offense look, this year. Cam does well, run the ball, and that option. But I also know, and Cam has said this too, but I also know that McDaniels is like, yes, finally a QB that can move compared to a statue in the practice. So I want to see how New England's offense is going to look. They got a lot of like scat backs and possession receivers with Edelman and I believe N'Keal Harry, but it's going to look totally different in New England. They still got a lockdown defense, but the offense is going to be interesting to see how they develop it for and around Cam Newton.
Man, gonna be missing a piece on that defense now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they're actually missing a lot of pieces on the defense. I think a lot of the Patriots defensive stars have kind of they're sitting this year.
They're sitting out.
Yeah. So I think I'm actually going to pay attention a lot to this division, just because the Patriots have owned this division since we were in diapers, it seems like. So I think this may be the first legit. This may be the first legit year where like somebody other than the Patriots wins the division. Whether, like you said, whether that be the Bills or whether that shockingly could be the Dolphins. So I think we're all looking forward to that.
Yes.
Young Sharky, take over the NFC North for me, sir.
Oh yeah, this is like Tuke was saying about the South, AFC South. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers have a quote unquote bounce back season. He went to the NFC Championship game last year, but for his standards, similar to how we judge LeBron during the regular season, when you're arguably on a GOAT status like that, you're expected to produce at a certain level. I know new coach and everything, so we'll see. Can he have especially with the first round pick, drafting a quarterback, Jordan Love, who hasn't looked well in practice from all the stories I've seen. So just Aaron Rodgers, will he have the motivation to show them like, I'm still Aaron Rodgers? Yeah, so really, Aaron Rodgers having a bounce back season, and go to Chicago. Mitchell Trubisky was announced as a starter this week. Shockingly, pretty much just how long before Nick Foles takes over. Nick Foles does better later when he does better when he's not starting full season anyway. So might be a good move by the Bears and just when we take over. In my opinion, I don't have none of us have no trust and belief in Mitchell Trubisky. So 8 games, 10 games, how long will it be to Nick Foles is starting?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think what you brought up were definitely good points. Especially like you said, you talked about Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, the Minnesota Vikings. I think they're returning a good squad, so they could legit make some noise. I'm also looking into like the Detroit Lions. Is this Matthew Stafford's last year in Detroit too? So I think that's something to look forward to because we don't know what that team could do moving forward. I'll take the NFC South. I think this is a division that a lot of people will have their eyes on with Tom Brady now being a new Tampa Bay Buccaneer, the signings that they made, whether they be Gronk. They just recently signed Leonard Fournette off of not off of waivers, but they just basically just signed him. So my first storyline is who's going to win the division, whether that be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the New Orleans Saints. And I think we kind of get our first inkling. We could potentially answer that question week 1 because they're going against each other in week 1. So I think that's going to be a good battle just with those two. I think the Saints and the Buccaneers are basically, I think in my opinion, they're going to vie for the number 1 seed in the NFC. So it'd be interesting to see who gets that number 1 seed, and then who also if the other team could potentially either miss the playoffs or if they get the 5th or 6th seed. So that's my first storyline, and I think for me the second storyline is I'm actually looking at the Carolina Panthers too. There you go. I'm actually looking forward to the Carolina Panthers. Run CMC, one of the best. I think we voted him as the best back in the NFL. So to see if we can get another good or even great season like we did last year from him. And then just also Matt Rule with that being his first year in coaching, what that team can look like. So I'm actually interested to see what that team looks like. Also, Teddy Bridgewater just signed there as well too. So I'm looking forward to see what the Carolina Panthers can do. Hopefully it's not another rebuilding season, as Tuka always says. But
it is.
But we'll go from there.
But it is. Are y'all serious? I really don't. Whatever, man.
I had to take my shots where I could.
Go ahead, bro. It's all good. Nothing you definitely got to point out is that I think we got like the fastest receivers corps in the league, if not definitely top 3, and that's like statistics. So definitely watch out for them.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
Also, remember,
yeah, but I think the Carolina Panthers could also take a.
I would say also remember it's 17 is going to the playoffs this year.
17 is in the playoffs, yeah.
Oh yes, that's right. Good. Thank you for correcting me on that. So I think the other reason I brought up the Carolina Panthers is because I think they could be sneaky good. So where teams could be like, oh, well, that's a win versus the Carolina Panthers. You never know. And I think that could also, play a role into who gets what seed in the NFC, especially as we just talked about the Bucks and the Panthers and the Bucks and the Saints. You were just talking, so the floor is again back to you. Give us a couple storylines from the NFC West.
For sure. Well, you did a great job of asking who's going to win that division because who's going to win this division? Like this is definitely
true. Yeah,
the most competitive division in football. When you're talking about the Niners, the Rams, the Seahawks, and the Arizona Cardinals, who have gotten a lot better. So I think for number 1, of course, we got to talk about San Francisco, the team who actually went to the Super Bowl. You get Jimmy G back. His second season back from an ACL injury. Last year he did pretty good, but most players really, really bounce back in that second year from having an injury like that. So I'm really looking forward to see how he, continues to develop. And also, the old heads on the team, they do got a lot of old heads, with Trent Williams protecting Jimmy G, and also Richard Sherman, who, has had injury problems in the last couple of years, but he's always been there when it mattered the most. So I think like consistency is key. The best availability is, is being on the field. So, I think that's a key storyline to watch out for. And the second would be, of course, the Seahawks. I mean, they definitely did a lot better than I thought they were going to do, of course. And you do got to give a lot of credit to Russell Wilson and what he's been able to do. And, Pete Carroll's, offense. We're going to talk later on the show what number Pete Carroll is as far as coaches go. But he's definitely in that top 5, top 2, may not be even 2, conversation. So I can't wait to have that talk. But, they just signed, in my opinion, the best safety in, football with Jamal Adams. So the Seahawks could be poised to knock out the team that was in the Super Bowl last season in that division. And, you know, for my own personal, you know, I guess topic, the Cardinals as well, you know, D-Hop finally got a quarterback who's going to give him the ball. Like, they hadn't played a game together, and Kyler Murray is already the best quarterback that D-Hop has ever played with. So if you continue to surround them with talents, they may be another team to come out.
Deshaun Watson?
Sir.
Let's not be disrespectful now.
To who?
40 million. Deshaun Watson?
I mean,
okay.
Sharky, at that point, that's what
let's see how you.
Okay.
They gonna mute me, man. I mean, let's compare this shit. Let's compare this shit. Because I don't know why, but you do have analysts giving Kyler Murray the dark horse MVP of the year. So that's why I wanted to bring that to. Like, that's not me. I've seen Kyler Murray.
He was high on like the fantasy boards. Like,
exactly. So for me to get muted like that, Sharky, you owe me an apology, and I accept it. But it is what it is. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, guys.
You like this is.
The NFC West will definitely be a very competitive division, like you said. It's the Niners, who I think got better. The Seahawks, who I think got a little bit better. The Cardinals got better as well too. The Rams, I forgot that they were still in the division.
I mean, you know, a couple years they were in the Super Bowl. So you still got a coach in McVay that's there. So
yep, for sure. All right, Trevor, close us out with the NFC East, my boy.
Oh man, I get the exciting division. Oh
yeah,
the boring division, the 9-7 division, the 8-8 division.
Before I get to the two,
8-8.
Before I get to the two teams that actually matter in this division, so the now Washington football team, they're going through a complete culture change. So who knows what's going to be going on there? The Giants will have their first full season with Daniel Jones, or as our buddy Darren likes to call him, Danny Dimes. And then it'll be.
It's fun.
And then of course with Saquon Barkley in the backfield as well, so it'll be interesting to see what those are. So now on to the two teams that mattered and the two main storylines for this division. First off with the Dallas Cowboys. First, they finally got rid of Jason Garrett as their coach and brought in Mike McCarthy. Well-known offensive guru, of course, spent this time with the Green Bay Packers. Getting CeeDee Lamb in the draft, re-signing Amari Cooper to go along with Zeke. It's going to be interesting to see what Dak Prescott does now in his quote-unquote contract year, because we all know he was looking for that big contract. He's going to be playing under the tag this year. So it'll be interesting to see, especially with that, and as well as Dallas bringing in Andy Dalton at $7 million. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to go on with that and how long before Jerry Jones decides that Andy Dalton needs to be the starter. Of course, there's still a few questions on defense, but I think it's more so of health with the Cowboys as opposed to just personnel. Of course, they did lose Byron Jones in free agency. So it'll be interesting to see all around what Dallas can potentially do. They can potentially win the division. Now on to the team that actually won the division, the Philadelphia Eagles, which will be the second storyline. Of course, it starts with Carson Wentz. Can Carson Wentz finally stay healthy? And if we know if he stays healthy, and I do agree with Savage, when healthy and on the field, he's definitely a top 5, top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Now he has a bevy of weapons to work with, because it still is a miracle that the Philadelphia Eagles actually won the division with the lack of weapons that they had. So it'll be interesting to see what Miles Sanders does, and I believe this will be his second season, if I'm correct, Savage, in the second season.
Yep.
With the Eagles. They got Jalen Reagor, a decent receiver in the draft, along with a couple other weapons that they added. So it'll be interesting to see what Philly does. So I expect it to come down again till possibly their last matchup for the division between the Cowboys and the Eagles, and we'll see how it plays out.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm pretty sure somebody will win that division at 9-7, as always. But I thank you guys for that. We will make sure that we follow all of those storylines going into the season. I'm just happy at this point that we have an NFL season. I'm happy for that. Go Steelers. We could potentially win the division. I know y'all tried to talk about the Ravens, but ain't nobody worried about the Ravens. All right, cool. I'm done.
All right. Move on to our ReaLIST.
All right, gentlemen, this is the final week of the ReaLIST. Thank you to everyone who contributed. Up first, we got the top 5 inside linebackers. You guys see the list right there. We're gonna start from the Tizop, Mr. OG Bobby Wagner. I think everybody had Bobby Wagner number 1, if I'm not mistaken. Just been a solid, centerpiece for the Seattle Seahawks defense for like a long time, and he literally gets about 120 tackles every year. You know what I'm saying? So the OG is number 1. Number 2, we got a young buck, Darius Leonard, who kind of went ham for the past 2 years. This is his 3rd year.
I know, kind of.
My boy Frank got him right up in Indianapolis. So shout out to Darius Leonard. Number 3, we already know Minnesota got a top 5, top 3 defense, and Eric Kendricks is the middle of that defense. Kind of hate that we got the wrong Kendricks brother back in the day, but it's cool. Number 3. Number 4, we got Demario Davis for the New Orleans Saints, another kind of, in my opinion, underrated defense who I think will bounce back this year. And number 5, we got Levante David, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a defense that I feel like will go crazy this year because they're going to score a lot of points on offense, and so they can pin their ears back and get to the quarterback. So that is the top 5 inside backers. Gentlemen, your thoughts?
How long has Bobby Wagner been playing football? Like 30 years?
Yes, I
feel like he's been good at his position for centuries. I forgot. I understand like his value, but I'm just like, God, bro, he's still playing, and he's still playing an elite level. So that was my thing that I wanted to call out. And then I think we've noticed that Darius Leonard has been absolutely balling. I think for a lot of years, I think it was kind of like, even when Peyton Manning was there, like the Colts are kind of known as not having a good defense. But I think to the lowest of key, the Colts have had a really good defense over the past 2 years, especially since Darius Leonard has gotten there. And I think he's a huge part of that reason. So those are my 2 big things for them, for that list.
Man, I saw on Good Morning Football this morning, and I forgot the Buccaneers had Devin White from LSU.
Mm-hmm.
Someone picked him as the defensive player of the year this year. Now I had Levante David on my list, top 5. He might not even be the best linebacker on his team, and Levante David is cold. He's getting older too, like Bobby Wagner. I think he's about 30 now too.
Yep,
one of the old heads. But the rest of the list, I think pretty much my first 3 was those 3. I had Levante David 4. I think I had CJ Mosley at 5, but it's between him and Mario Davis. They was
Mosley.
I was choosing them 2.
I was just about that. Ask y'all about CJ Mosley, even though he's not playing this season. Like, where would y'all rank him if he did play? Because he's about top 4.
Yeah, I had him
6.
Top 5.
He'd probably be 6.
He was at 6 for me.
I had Davis at 6, so they were tip for tack.
Yeah.
I think Eric Kendricks drops this year. I think just because I think Griffin was just that much of a force as a defense. And don't get me wrong, I know the Vikings just went to go grab that young buck from the Jaguars who don't want to pay anybody any money.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I just don't think Kendricks has that good of a year this upcoming year as a top 5. That's just me.
I think if anything, that helps him. If anything. I think that helps. One of the 2 is going to benefit from that signing, whether that be Kendricks or Ngakoue. I think one of the 2, maybe even both, would definitely benefit from that signing. I think the Vikings defense is legit. Minus Harrison Smith, who that we forget that he plays safety, but that front 7, it ain't nothing to play with. Hey, mama, look at you.
How do y'all feel about Corey Littleton? I got him in my top 5.
I like that signing for
top 10 for me.
He was killing it for the Rams the past couple of years. He was my number 6 actually. So I kind of debated between having him and I think Levante David at 5 or Demir, one of them. But I feel like the Raiders are a defense that people are sleeping on. They got a lot defensive ends, and that bodes well for your linebackers and everybody else back in coverage. So I like Littleton for the Raiders.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sneaky big news: Devin Bush from the Pittsburgh Steelers is coming. Just want to put that out there.
Oh yeah.
So
Devin Bush is coming.
Oh yeah.
when I saw it earlier when dude picked Devin White, I was thinking Devin Bush. I was like, I was like, you said Devin Bush instead, but Devin White.
I think Devin Bush is coming. He's going to come because he has Bud Dupree and T.J. Watt and another big signing that Cam Hayward just got re-signed too for the Steelers. So I think he has all that good talent around him, and I think he's gonna spaz all over the field. He was good last year. I think you could tell he was a rookie. I think he'll be much better come year 2.
Okay.
All right, Savage. What you been waiting for the last hour?
So, top 5 coaches in the NFL. Number 1, it's a surprise to me, honestly. Bill Belichick still number 1 despite having his defense kind of taken away with everybody sitting out. So we got Bill number 1. We have Big Red, Super Bowl coach now, Andy Reid for the Kansas City Chiefs. At number 3, we got John Harbaugh for the Baltimore Ravens. Number 4, my guy, Dougie Fresh, Doug Peterson of the Eagles, best coach in the NFC, apparently, according to everybody on this list. But that's cool. He could be a little bit higher, but whatever. And number 5, we got Sean Payton down there with the New Orleans Saints. So, first,
how did Sean Payton make this list?
First, I want to hear thoughts about Bill Belichick and Andy Reid. I had Reid number 1 because Reid has no pressure anymore. He got him a ring, and now he can just sit back and coach. So, that's just me.
Belichick for me, Belichick, man. Like, regardless of who's on the field, and he always stresses this out to New England, like, just do your job. So it's like, if of course, with this season, a lot of his defensive stars is going to be out, but I don't expect them to drop off that much. I mean, of course, Stephon Gilmore, Dante Hightower, they're all pro, Pro Bowlers, but I just think it's just going to be next man up at this point, and I think that says a lot about Bill Belichick more than anything else. So that's why I had him number 1.
Right. I had Bill Belichick number 1 as well. Like, he's pretty much like the Greg Popovich of football. Like, regardless of who's on his team, he's gonna find a way to win, whether that's cheating or not. He's dubs are dubs, and you do gotta respect his ability to get the dub. So he's been doing it, like Skylar said, since we were in Pampers. So I mean, he's gonna continuously be number 1 until he declines or just doesn't win anymore. But Andy Reid, like, that's what you said, Savage, about Andy Reid. Like, he's pressure's off. He's got a ring. He's good, and number 1, he has the best quarterback in the NFL. So,
thanks.
Yeah. The only reason I put Bill Belichick as 1 is just because I just didn't want to be disrespectful to one of the greatest coach of all time in the NFL. I understand that he hasn't had the best years last year, and he may not have the best of years this year, but for me, it's just longevity. I mean, he's been one of the best coaches, if not the best coach in the NFL for the past 10, 15, maybe even 20 years. So I just didn't want to be disrespectful to him. I did want to put Andy Reid as 1, but I said, I want to see how that team looks coming off a Super Bowl. I think if that team can come back and potentially either win another Super Bowl or make it to AFC Championship again, then I think you can kind of move Andy Reid up to 1. But I think Bill Belichick as 1 is the best pick.
Yeah, the fact that he done lost all the people he done lost on in New England, and we are still questioning, can New England win the division?
Mm-hmm.
That's why he's number 1. Any other coach you saying that you look at New England team, you saying Buffalo win the division easily. The fact you even have the thought that New England still could be there, he number 1. That's all.
Now that's probably a slow division.
And he just happened to sign one of the greatest leaders you can think of in Cam Newton. So,
and he got signed captain status too.
There you go. Come on now.
And they playing church music at practice.
So she
She did. Let she go though. She the rest.
I've had enough of this. No. No. I want y'all to really be considerate of what the heck we're discussing here. Bill Belichick, as a matter of fact, if you look at all these people on this list, there's 1 coach and 1 team on this list that for sure is not going to make the playoffs next season. that is the number 1 seed, Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots. They're not going to make the playoffs.
Saving screenshot this.
Yeah, please do. And I do not believe that they're fighting to win the division. I believe the Bills have it, and it's hands down like 6-30. I don't believe the Patriots go past maybe a 6-10 season. Bill Belichick is a great coach, but they don't have what it takes to win that division. 6-10, he's not number 1.
But that's his first losing division. That's his first losing season in how long, Chidi?
That's great. Even
right, so that's what I'm saying. I think that's why we put him as number 1.
That's why we put him number 1.
So
this is first losing season in how long?
Number 1. Why is Greg Popovich not number 1 then?
He is.
Stop.
We hadn't done that list.
We haven't done the NBA.
Right. I was put Greg Popovich as the best coach in the NBA. We hadn't done that list. That's why he's not number 1 because we hadn't made a list.
We want to do that list. We debate this later, and I got all the smoke. But Greg Pop will be number 1. I want all the smoke in that combo.
So that's the biggest argument we got on this list.
Nah.
Well, Sean Payton should not be number 5.
I mean, like,
nah, look at number 4. I can't wait to talk about that one.
Like, we arguing about number 1 and 2. Man, if we don't get on and actually get to real arguments,
Sean Payton should not be number 5.
Okay, so I'll speak about Doug Peterson. All right. So, in my opinion, Doug Peterson is the 3rd best coach in the NFL. He's better than John Harbaugh. I'm not hearing nothing about John Harbaugh. Like, Doug Peterson has made, for the past 3 years, has made the playoffs by how? Y'all explain to me how Doug Peterson makes playoffs with me at receiver, right?
It's a slow division.
Look at, okay, the AFC North slow. Let's be real. It's not slow. Bengals, Browns.
The AFC North is slow?
Yeah, that's
Come on now.
Can I speak? Okay. So y'all be guaranteeing wins against the Browns and the Bengals, right? Every year, right? I've heard on this podcast now.
No.
Just like you guarantee wins against the Giants and Redskins.
Come on, Trevor.
Just like you guarantee wins against the Giants and Redskins. And damn near the Cowboys. The only reason he's saying that because she's on here.
Ask a question. Can I speak? So every year, answer the question now. Don't answer my question with a question. Answer my question. Y'all not guaranteed wins against the Browns and the Bengals every year.
Yes.
Now, I would say yes. Now, whoa. Now answer this.
Can I talk? I got to finish.
All right.
So, what have the Bengals done the past 4 years?
Play football.
Okay, thank you.
Football.
According to y'all, what have the Browns done the past 4 years?
Sign Baker Mayfield, according to.
Now let's go back to the NFC. And Sheedy can attest to this. The NFC East, we don't know who's gonna win every year. We don't know. It can be the Giants 1 year. It can be the Redskins 1 year. It can be the Cowboys 1 year. It can be the Eagles 1 year. The NFC East every year is 9-7 for a reason because every team is in their jacket every single year. Every year. And Sheedy can tell you about it. In the AFC North, it's either Baltimore or the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't want to hear nothing else. So that being said,
that same argument that you're making can be said about y'all because it's either the Eagles or the Cowboys. When is the last time have the Giants or Redskins won a division?
If we play football today, if it's Giants versus Bengals, who win that game? Next question. All right.
The Bengals.
No. That's a good question.
When is the last time the Giants or the Redskins won the I'll wait. When is the last time the Giants or Redskins won the NFC East?
Before the Bengals and the Browns did. I know that much.
I mean,
actually,
it's
actually maybe about the same because the Bengals.
Bengals are good. Yeah,
Bengals won it. What was like 13, 14, I think.
And that's around the same time the Redskins won.
Right.
Yeah.
Every team has won division from Eagles to Giants to Cowboys to Redskins have won this division at some point within the last 5 to 6 years.
Let's get back to the coach's argument.
So with that being said,
I got a question.
About better than Doug Peterson. Y'all let me know.
I guess I don't know. I
got a question. I got a question. So I didn't have Doug Peterson in my top 5, and I'm pretty sure it's a couple other people that didn't have it. I just want to know how he made it to number 4. Well, like, what did you put him? Number 1?
I had him at 3. I had Andy Reid checked, and
I had him at 3 on mine as well.
Okay.
Oh man, I'm just saying.
Playoff. I mean, you saw what he took to the playoffs last year. I mean,
I'll tell you, Sharky. He took Robert Davis, receiver. Do y'all know him? Deontay Burnett. I know him. I don't know.
Josh for Titans, I
was just about Boston Scott. I'm just saying.
That's not Bart Scott.
Played quarterback at Houston. Like, what do y'all want him to do? This is a coach,
right? No, I think, and we're gonna get back to the list. We're gonna get back to this list because again, Sean Payton should not be a number 5. Whichever one of y'all voted for Sean Payton needs to be removed out of this.
But I mean, it was my 5.
Yeah, he's probably number 2.
I think still something has to be said. I agree with you that basically y'all took garbage bags to the playoffs. But I think that that's also a product because the Cowboys, what in the hell are they doing every year? Nothing. What are the Redskins doing every year? Changing their name and doing something they're not supposed to be doing. Like, come on now. Like, let's be real here. Let's be real. Again, all I got to say is Sean Payton should not be on this list. Number 5 should be Pete Carroll. That's all I have. That's all I got.
Hold on. Wait. Pete Carroll? Really?
I got Mike Tomlin.
Hold on. Scott.
Take Bill
Belichick. I'll get to Mike Tomlin in a minute. So, Scott, you always talk about with coaches how they always try to show that they're too smart sometimes. Pete Carroll is the epitome of that statement.
That's facts.
Well, that's because he don't know how to hire offensive coordinator. But I think outside of that,
that's part of being a coach.
Outside of that, they're a legit contender every year. When was the last time the Seahawks were not a contender?
Exactly.
Before Pete Carroll got there.
A contender for what? Playoffs or
I'm not even a
Super Bowl or actual just getting to the playoffs.
I'm not even a
Super Bowl at least.
Everybody on this list are playoff contenders. Seahawks have been a Super Bowl contender about 5 years.
You mean going into next season? All these teams are playoff contenders?
Yeah. You already said we got you. I don't want to say the Patriots going 6-10. Well, next we passed it.
I think personally, if Pete Carroll had the New Orleans Saints roster, the New Orleans Saints would not have exited the first round the past couple of years. Period. If he had that roster.
No, his offensive coordinator.
No, I'm saying if you put Pete Carroll on the Saints, if you replace the two.
With his offense.
The coaches.
Yeah. With his offense.
Yeah. Because Pete Carroll should be trying to institute his offense in there. So
they put it out in the first round.
Yeah.
He'll make playoffs with his offense in New Orleans. Because their defense not as good as Seattle's.
Bingo.
Kind of got to a point on that one.
Respect your Steelers coach, Mike Tomlin, though.
Let me get the Mike Tomlin.
No, 0-9. He lost to the Jaguars a couple years ago. I still ain't got over that. No, I'm not.
Neither have the Jaguars, clearly.
I mean, lost to the Jets
let me get the Mike Tomlin. Let me get the Mike Tomlin because I had him in my top 5 at 5.
I had him at 5 too.
With the exception of the linebacker discussion that we've had today, and even today we brought up Devin Bush. There's been a defense on the defensive side of the ball. There's been a Pittsburgh Steelers at least in our top 5, top 10. Every single position on defense, with the exception of linebacker. That at some point you got to give Mike Tomlin some credit. Now get it, Skyler, you can attest to this. Almost every season we almost putting this man on the hot seat. And last season we was not supposed to go 8-8. Like we were supposed to be 3-13, 4-12 with the roster that we had. And getting Minkah Fitzpatrick, of course, in that trade helped change things. You just mentioned Devin Bush, T.J. Watt, Cam Hayward. All of those guys, along with Mike Tomlin rallying around them, is what got us to 8-8. And damn near would have been in the playoffs if the new playoff format was debuted last season. So he deserves some credit in that regard. Now, go ahead.
No, I just think my problem with Mike Tomlin is he's a really good coach, and I think he should be top 5. But every year there's at least 2, maybe even 3 losses that we should not have. It happens every single year, and I think if you put this, Bill Belichick does not have their problem every year. Andy Reid does not have their problem. John Harbaugh, Doug Peterson, Sean Payton, they win the games that they're supposed to win. There are times when we lose to the Rams with the Rams a couple years ago, the Jaguars a couple years ago. Every year there's at least 2 or 3 losses that we should not have that prevents us from getting into playoffs or going to the Super Bowl. That's my problem with Mike Tomlin.
Nice. I'll give you that.
I rest my case.
Cheat, you got any more statements?
Besides the one of Mike Tomlin, being on that. I think he is a top 5 NFL coach. At least if we can attest to agree, at least top 7, top 8 coach in the league. Besides that, the list is what it is, and I'll keep my mouth shut about the rest and how I feel. I will say this one thing we haven't mentioned. I don't even know about enough of the Colts. I think the Colts will be sneaky this upcoming year. New format, by the way. They've made a lot of adjustments, and we haven't talked a lot about them, but I think they'll be sneaky in the AFC. Be sure, and the AFC South may get 3 teams into the playoffs.
Oh, hell no.
It'll be them and the Titans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Frank Wright. He's from Doug Peterson's coaching tree, ain't he?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Phil the Rivers when they go ham. He got an offensive line this year too.
He's going what?
You see about that?
He's going.
I hope I thought going.
By going ham, I mean he's going to throw the ball a lot. Now, now where it lands, it remains to be seen.
Hey, good recovery.
Right. Oh, that was funny. All right, man. Let's get to our L of the month, and I actually got a screen to show for our L of the month candidates.
We're shipping them out. We got to start sending these big L's out.
Here we go. All right. Look at the candidates. Cornerback, Kemar Severin, the former undrafted rookie from Oklahoma State that was with the Seahawks. He got released about a month ago after sneaking his girlfriend or just a girl, period, into the hotel. Mark Jackson. Remember the Grizzlies players used to play in the playoff game? Yes, Colin, Tyler Jenkins consistently. I mean consistently throughout the game. And other stuff, but that's the main one. And Mr. John Falk, the former Hornets announcer, who they just got rid of for typing, and I forgot the G on the word, but y'all know what it is. Yeah,
not the country in Africa. The
right. So, who gets your vote?
Mr. Kemar Severin is my L of the month because not only did he try to. He tried to sneak this girl. He tried to sneak this girl into the wherever they were staying in. But it wasn't the fact that he did that. The girl was not attractive. I don't want to call anybody ugly.
Thank you.
I don't want to call nobody ugly, but she wasn't attractive. I see if he tried to invite like Beyonce or Rihanna or some little nice little Instagram model.
Now let's be real. Not everybody Beyonce and Rihanna.
I know, I totally get that. But she wasn't nothing close to an Instagram model. She wasn't a Twitter model. She wasn't a MySpace model. She was nothing. I'm not sure what she was. Again, I don't want to call anybody
a role model. So
wow.
That, my friends, deserves an L. And he did that and he got kicked off the team. That's what I said.
He was undrafted, so he didn't get no money at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Stupid, man.
Yeah.
Mine said he wasn't even a role model. She wasn't a role model. That was a good one.
He wasn't even a role model.
So I'm assuming, Trevor, that was your choice too.
Yeah, for all the reasons he just named. Not only was this was stupid and he was undrafted, and he lost on potential getting a paycheck. The girl was unattractive and white. So I mean, like, come on now, you could have done much better than that if it was all that. But,
I mean, at least take a black girl there. Golly, bro.
Somebody else, please go. Two, please.
Man, I can't even say Severin because I'm gonna be the better half of the podcast and not call anybody ugly.
We
didn't say ugly. We just said
no,
we called her unattractive.
That's a synonym for ugly. Just letting y'all know.
No, right. But I'd rather somebody call me unattractive than somebody call me ugly.
They the same thing in my book, but that's neither here nor there. Let's agree to disagree.
For
the second Mark Jackson, I think that we could have did better at putting all of the analysts in because hearing Jason Richardson, like I said, for the Sixers, they kind of had me excited to watch, Sixers basketball until I realized that they weren't talking about Jason Richardson. So I think we got to put all the analysts in there. But I'm definitely going to go with the John. However you say his last name, because if you look at how you, we don't just say John F. We can't see that. Shut up. But if we were to look and see how this whole thing come about with John F, it's like you knew what you were typing. You know what I'm saying? Nuggets and you know what I'm saying the M word are two different things. But the fact that you blamed it on autocorrect means that you've used that word at least more than once. Because autocorrect won't come up for words you don't use. So in this kind of day and age, that's something that we have to look at as being you're an idiot, you're a racist idiot, and you know what I'm saying. Shout out to the Denver Nuggets because that's I guess what it would have been if you would have typed it in correctly or whatever. But shout out to autocorrect. Shout out to you being a racist, bro. You definitely got the L of the month for me.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna go to Wendy's and order me a nice little 10-piece spicy McNugget or whatever that drink is.
I'm gonna go with John Fox because, like, first of all, the N word, the hard R, has 6 letters and Nuggets has 7. So
exactly.
I don't know what you were trying to do. In fairness to him, the letter I is close to the letter U. But the way that phones work is that once you use a word over and over again, it gets saved into your phone.
Yep.
And so, so he has used his hard R before. So I'm gonna say this John guy. As far as the Seattle guy, I mean, he was undrafted anyway, and he probably was out, so he needed a stress reliever in any shape or fashion, whether that's attractive or not. So I mean, he got what he wanted.
He actually did get what he wanted because she got caught.
It's him. It's him.
He didn't get what he wanted because she got caught.
Come on, Shane, you agree with this. Come on.
Yeah, man. It's terrible.
Yeah, man. I have to actually say John Falk, actually.
Yes, sir.
Because Kima. I mean, there's a million of these kids all across the country that do this. He just got caught doing it. Whereas John Falk, you can type in his name into Google right now, because that's how people hire people. They look at you up and type you in the Google search to see what they can find, and that's the first thing that pops up is about what he said. So he's ruined, and that's this, that, and the third. But Kima, man, first of all, she was ugly. I don't care what anybody got to say. I don't care if she's white, black, Indian, whatever. She was ugly. They call it like it is.
Sharky, I think you should pull her picture up. I'm pretty sure you have available.
We ain't about to do all.
We ain't about to see her picture.
We ain't about to get sued right now.
How they gonna sue us? We ain't got no money, and she probably don't either.
Hey man, there you go. You can't sue somebody. You can't sue nobody.
We ain't gonna do all that. Keep it civilized, man. It's too. I tell you.
Y'all are terrible people.
No, we're not.
No, we just tell. Hey, this is Let's Be Real, right? So you gotta tell
the 100th episode. Come on now,
exactly.
The 100th episode.
I should be used to it, huh?
We apologize on behalf of Skylar and Trevor.
We do.
They do. Thank you, Sharky.
I'm back.
Wow, that's hilarious. Okay, can we get to something positive? Can we get to the Tigers and they first?
Hold on, man. I ain't even voted yet.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sharky.
Hey.
So now we got to do captain. Now we gotta do a Twitter poll because I'm voting for John Falk. So
there we go.
Do a Twitter poll to break the tiebreaker.
There we go.
Right. I tried to type nigger in my phone the other day, and Nuggets popped up.
Yeah.
That's it. he get my other money.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing too. Is like the T is next to the R, so you really probably typed it out, like legit. And especially like, what if he ain't got an iPhone?
I got a Samsung Galaxy. I typed in NIGGR and Nuggets came up. Autocorrect.
There you go. There you go. He knew what he was doing.
I only asked that when we send out the L of the month to Mr. Kima, that we send it to him and his girl.
Yes.
Thank you, Sheedy.
Thank you, Sheedy.
Twitter got
right. But Twitter's going to agree with this.
Like an average white girl, y'all. That's how a white girl looks.
But you're risking your entire potential future of getting a paycheck.
He might love her. He probably loves her.
I doubt it.
I doubt it. He's just trying to smash. Come on.
Come on, man. You can't troll it. You can't troll a troller, man. He does not love the girl. He
couldn't.
Somebody for everybody.
That's true.
Exactly. Everybody need love.
And she the one that called it ugly.
Exactly.
She can put herself on mute, so I couldn't mute him.
Oh, dang.
Anyway, shout out to the Tigers. Beat Arkansas State first game.
First game.
What's up? Got another game 2 weeks.
That's right. We 2 weeks.
Already got a
week. Gucci.
Yeah, because who was supposed to play?
Yeah, because we're gonna play Purdue.
Yeah.
We're gonna play Purdue next week. Yeah, but you know the Big Ten. They do whatever they want to do up there. Big Ten.
Yeah, you're a fan of the Big Ten, huh?
I am.
Of course he is. You know that.
Is something else happening after this? Y'all still mad at me because they voted not to have football?
No, I ain't mad.
No, we're not mad at you. We're just mad at the slow conference that it is that Ohio State is in, and y'all play teams like Purdue every year.
A real football conference is gonna start at the end of the month. So
What, Sun Belt?
SEC. Come on now, get it right.
All right, on that note. One, mute. And on that note.
Thank you.
All right. Episode 100 is in. Deuce.
Peace, man. Love y'all.